And welcome in to the latest edition of the Rob and Kale Show. I'm Rob Sanders. Thanks for joining us here this evening as we roll along here, getting closer and closer to football season. We're under 100 jackpot. It's my friend from the upstate. His team does not do what his screen name says, which is dumpster dive for 4 stars.
That's right. We go out and recruit them, my God.
You go out and recruit them. He is, of course, Carolina Jackpot Kale Hall. Kale, what is up, my friend?
Not a lot. I hope everybody out there is having a great evening. Hopefully we can get a good following tonight. Made a lot of Georgia fans angry today with the little video about Darian Kendrick and picking scraps off the scrap heap. They've all been in my comment section with the type, but that's okay. We all know who the superior program within that little 50 to 60 mile stretch of I-85 is, and who's going to be winning on September the 4th. And it's not even going to be close, in my opinion. So,
I want to get into that.
Fuck your goofy ass coach, and fuck the damn horse you rode in on.
Yeah, everything Jackpot said. That's funny. No, I mean it's funny because I want to get into the whole thing with Kendrick leaving Clemson and going to Georgia. You know what this tells me is that Georgia truly has no soul. They really don't give a shit. I mean, that's kind of the way that it boils up down to it, man. And we're going to give the Georgia fans an opportunity to call in. I don't want to hear one thing come out of Georgia's mouth that any Georgia fan's mouth that Clemson is a far, beneath them program and everything else. You are truly getting the leftovers from Clemson. You got the guy that Dabo Sweeney couldn't fix with the baptism pools and everything else. Your program is such a shithole that you've got to go and get guys that have issues. And I don't want bad things to happen to Darian Kendrick. He just had issues, and Dabo Sweeney couldn't get him. Now, please don't come at me tonight with, well, we want to give young men a chance at the University of Georgia. No, you don't. You want to shake that 1980 thing so fucking bad that you're willing. Guys could come in and, how many people did you shoot? 700, you're going to deal crack on campus? We don't give a shit. Come on down.
Just don't do it no more.
Just say you won't do it anymore.
Don't do it no more.
Don't do it until after, November the 20th or whenever the last game of the season is. Just don't do it anymore after that, until after that, okay? Then you can go back to being in the crackheads and everything else. That's just the way that it is. But anyway, let's thank our sponsors, Callaway's Bar and Grill, Callaway'sBarandGrill.com. Tony says, bullshit, the kid didn't kill anybody. No, but he did more pot. The kid did a hell of a lot of pot and was sitting in his car in front of his girlfriend's apartment with a gun in his lap. I mean, that just happens to all of us, right, Jackpot? I mean, you did that a couple weeks ago, right? You were sitting.
Yeah, fuck. I mean, how many times? I mean, I done it. I mean, come on. These are just things that they just stand out. I mean, you should be, I don't know. I mean, why he's not in jail is, a miracle.
I want to know how the charges are just going to magically go away with a gun charge. I'm just wondering how that's going to be. We'll see how that works out.
I have no clue. I don't know how they're going to sweep this one under the rug, but
no clue.
Probably.
But if Dabo Sweeney gives up on you, it says a lot. Just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying. Dabo Sweeney knew that an all ACC defensive back was going to be an issue to have on his football team this year. So there you go with that. All right. Callaway's Bar and Grill, Callaway'sBarandGrill.com. Check them out. We're going to take calls to the night on this, but I got to get story time with Uncle Jackpot from our friends at DNC Trucking and Transport. This is where Jackpot tells us a couple of stories here. Jackpot, read away.
It sucks to be a Gamecock. Clemson has 3 football national titles since Georgia has last won its national title in 1981. Early 1981, very early. Georgia is good with Clemson leftovers. It's been 2,363 days since my team has beaten Clemson on the football field. It sucks to be a Gamecock. Go Tigers.
That message courtesy of Dennis Wilson, DNC Trucking and Transport. Appreciate Dennis for sponsoring and taking care of the show. Are always welcome to, send Dennis a message. He likes that. A couple of notes here. Sergeant AR-10 says, screw Dabo. What has Dabo done to you, sir? Besides take Trevor Lawrence and Deshaun Watson right out of your backyard at Georgia. As far as Darion Kendrick, he got no, sir. He's had issues with pot for a while. This wasn't the first incident of Darion Kendrick having issues with pot. Trust me, he had issues for years with pot. So, I don't wish anything bad for the kid, but it's not the kid that's the problem. It's that Georgia's like, oh, well, we'll go get him.
Well, I heard his baby bottle had little ones on it. Yeah. And when he would wet his Pampers, they had a special brand with him with a special design, little pot leaves pop up on there whenever he pissed in them some of bitches, so he was wet.
Tony with a comment, a hell of a lot of pot, got a ticket, and newsflash, Rock Hill ain't the Vatican either. Okay. He says the kid didn't want to drink the illegal tater juice, so Dabo pulled it. That's
God.
Completely not true. He did 3 years at Clemson and his issue was that he had some issues off the field. That's all. He kept doing sort of bad stuff. And look, we can get into the argument about what Tony's saying there. Reefer is nothing bad. It's organic. I can buy all that. But the point is that it's not legal. It's not legal.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, that's it.
Not legal. Sergeant AR-10 says he wore a shirt that said football matters. Yes, he did.
Oh, my God. That's so old it should be put in a nursing home.
Well, that's okay, though. I mean, people make mistakes.
I forgot all about it.
But if we're referring to Georgia, remember you had racist. I mean, we don't talk about stuff. You had racist baseball players that were yelling at Justin Fields, which is why he left Georgia and went to Ohio State. But let's not talk about that and the blatant racism that goes around.
And a star and bludgeon the team that's going to bludgeon you on September the 4th. So it's like the circle of suck. Or the circle of life.
I don't know if Sergeant AR-10 is he says Dabo is a clown. Dabo has 2 national titles in the past 5 years. So that clowns don't win national titles. Clowns get top 3 recruiting classes and sit on the sideline with a women's golf visor and not win national titles and not win their division and have Dan Mullen and his wife sucking face with every player on the team, beating them in their division.
Beating their brains out. Beating our brains senseless.
He wants me to put money on the game. Brother, I don't have to put money on the game. There's no need to. Tell me, look, Clemson's a 4-point favorite, so it's not just me that thinks this way, okay? People are starting to buy into that Georgia is bullshit. It's not just me. Everyone's seeing it. Everyone's seeing Kirby Smart's a fraud. And I think jackpot.
That's probably easy money. I think the ukulele man is going to pick apart that secondary. UGA will win by 20. Oh, come on now.
Are we playing baseball or basketball? Because it's not on the football field.
Well, they wouldn't win. They wouldn't win by that much at neither of us either.
The last time that Clemson lost, they lost to an Ohio State team. They lost to LSU a couple of years ago. They lost by 17 points. You're not 21 points better than Clemson. So let's stop with that bullshit. If you want to place money on that, fine. If you want Georgia wins by 21, then I'll bet you with that. I'll take Clemson and you give me the 21 points. You're afraid of it? Have at it. Have at it. Oh, 9 players in the NFL, Sarge. Okay, well, that's how you're judged as far as talent goes. How you put players in the NFL? Do you hang a banner for that? Why don't you? Is that how it works? We almost got a national title, but we got 9 players in the NFL. Okay,
they're talented, but the coaching there couldn't get them over the hump.
Eric with a comment here. South Carolina beats both Georgia and Clemson. Bet that. I don't know about all that, sir. I don't know about all that.
Even I'm not that optimistic.
I don't know about all that. If South Carolina beats Georgia and Clemson this season, they will rename the stadium Beamer Way. Mr. Boogie says over and under the number of Georgia players suspended for the first game. I don't know. We'll have to see how that works out.
10
803-470-2905. That is the number to dial if you would like to join the program this evening. If you want to talk about Darion Kendrick and the fact that he's going to Georgia, we kind of joked about that, but I just didn't really think it would happen.
I can't believe that's happening.
I don't know.
I mean, I thought they would have higher standards than that. I thought that guy would end up at, I don't know, some shithole that well, never mind. Someplace.
I thought he was going to go somewhere like East Carolina or, something like that.
Yeah, some smaller school that, that's kind of local that
right.
Still, has a need for somebody. Yeah, an East Carolina or I don't know.
Georgia Southern, Georgia State, something like that.
Yeah, Georgia State, Georgia Southern.
Yeah.
Benedict.
Eric says, no, I'm drinking Budweiser.
Old Dominion.
By the way, I think I fixed all the issues with our internet. I've hardwired everything in now instead of using Wi-Fi, so that should make our lives a little bit easier. You can also call. Yeah, it's all my fault. You can call the show at 803-470-2905, 803-470-2905.
Oh, Lord. The only person that calls us during the off season is Begging Megan. So maybe I don't even see him alive. I don't see that he's alive this evening.
Jackpot, we've been doing this show together by ourselves for about 6 months now. We're just getting our feet wet. We're going to have a great big show. Our numbers are going up. We're going to have a great big show. I'm not worried about it, especially during football season.
Sergeant AR-10 says JT Daniels has never lost to DJ Pineapple. He's never beaten him either.
Yeah, never beat him, and he's never played for an SEC championship game, and until the middle of last season,
never beaten Florida.
So
never beaten LSU.
You know what? He's not even going to be voted first team All SEC in the preseason. Think about that. That's going to go to Matt Corral of Mississippi. So think about that.
The beach bum is more highly thought of than JT Daniels.
Yeah. So I'll be upset with Clemson if they lose to Georgia.
The beach bitch.
The beach bitch. That's some funny shit right there. Anyway, I'll be upset if they lose to them, and they lose to the guy that was the 4th-string quarterback last season. That won't be working out well at all.
Sergeant says he played him twice in high school. Do your research. Okay, I'm sorry.
They're not on the same high school team, Sergeant. Holy shit. They're not on the same high school team. Oh, my God. We're not talking high school stuff here. Jesus Christ. Under your logic, then, why don't we just say this? He had to leave. Where was he at? He was at, UCLA? Where was he at, Jackpot, before Georgia?
USC.
He had to leave Southern Cal to get playing time somewhere else.
Yeah, he got injured, and then they changed offenses, and then some young guy named Keaton Slobich came in and beat him out of his job. So he left.
That's a good point. Yeah, but just stop with all that nonsense, man. And until you win something, Georgia, just whatever. Now, I understand if you guys win on September the 4th, I mean, they will burn couches and set shit on fire and all kinds of stuff in Athens because you're not really used to winning anything. And
oh my God, you'll never hear the end of it.
I'll never hear the end of it. And winning over a college blue blood like Clemson will be just a monumental thing for your program. You may name a section of those bushes down there after the Clemson win. I mean, there's all kind of stuff that they may do. So there's that. Anyway, 803-470-2905. We do have one other thing we're going to get into tonight, and I sent this to Jackpot because it was some pretty good stuff, and it was about teams that this is from 247 Sports, and I wanted to get a look at this. It's kind of cool. Teams that are on the rise and teams that are falling heading into this season. So there's that. A couple of comments before we get into this. Sergeant AR-10 says he played as a high school senior at Southern Cal. I know that he had to leave Southern Cal to get playing time. That's what happened. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong.
He played as a high school. What? What's he talking about?
He's talking about like he's giving him the Jake Bentley treatment. Like Bentley was a freshman for 800 years. Remember you guys used to do that at South Carolina?
Yeah.
You know, he's been a senior in high school.
I think he's just now 21.
Eric has an interesting comment. South Carolina's running back should be better than what Georgia or Clemson has.
They should be. They should be. But I don't know that we'll have the production because
you don't have the offensive line.
Yeah,
Georgia has. I tell you what, I am a tried and true.
Also, and two, I don't know that we will have the time of possession that Georgia or Clemson will have.
I'm going to say this, and it'll piss off the Clemson fans that watch our show, but let me make sure that people understand this. If you give me my choice of all the running backs, Clemson, Georgia, or South Carolina, I'll go to war with Kevin Harris.
Yeah.
I'll go to war with Kevin Harris today and all day fucking Sunday. He's the best running back of all three fucking schools. Don't give a shit. Don't give a shit. He is a heart and guts motherfucker, leave his soul on the field. That's the kind of running back that I want. He wants to get that extra yards, wants to knock people out. I don't know about Marshawn Lloyd yet because, you know, he hasn't really seen the field yet, but I know what I got with Kevin Harris. And if you told me I could have any of them, I will take Kevin Harris. And by the way, he led the SEC in rushing last season. So
yeah,
he did
and let me but he did it all against Kentucky and Vanderbilt and Ole Miss. And guess what? Everybody else plays Kentucky, Vanderbilt, and Ole Miss too because we played 10 games and you played almost everybody in the damn conference. So fuck you with that damn noise.
James Cook and Zamir White. I'll give you numbers, sir. He led the SEC in rushing, sir. What
Zamir White has not done anything at Georgia, which to that point, he's been injured a lot. I mean, he was injured. He had a hamstring, he had a knee coming out of high school at Scotland County in Laurinburg, North Carolina. So he's had a bad wheel ever since he came to Georgia. But I mean, he still had James Cook. I mean,
well, and something else that
cook me something else because I don't really like what you're serving up.
Harris also overcame the fact that Will Muschamp was on the staff and Mike was his offensive coordinator, and he had fucking Colin Hill handing him the ball off. I mean, come the fuck on with all that.
He had everything working against him.
I'm telling you, I'll take Kevin Harris all day today and twice on Sunday. Simple as that. Don't give me that shit. Well, we have this running back. Well, then why the fuck couldn't they put up numbers at Georgia? You got all these offensive line. You get this great guys on there, and you got obviously a better quarterback.
James Cook. I mean, goddamn. I mean,
James Cook. Blah, 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 blah. The SEC's leading rusher was in Columbia, and he played for South Carolina. And I know that hurts Georgia.
James Crook. He's probably in there stealing shit out of the damn lockers. Everybody knows they all damn dirty down there. JT Daniels is probably doing something too. He looks kind of nerdy, so he's probably hacking into somebody's shit on the computer or some kind of garbage, stealing some grades or some shit.
All right. Getting into the rising and falling. Welcome to call the program here at 803-470-2905, 803-470-2905. That is the number to call if you would like to get involved with the show. One of the risers, according to 247.
Phone call if you're not afraid to get eviscerated, or you may eviscerate one of us. I really don't care. Either way, it'll make for some great YouTube action.
If you have the audacity to call up and you think that you can hang, then that's fine. Have at it. We'll take your call. It's not a big deal.
Brandon Coon said Clemson just defeated Georgia Tech 11-5 in the final game of the season for them. So they won.
Yeah. But how about winning fucking 3 weeks ago at Georgia Tech?
So they won. They won, but the season's over. They don't advance.
No, they went 1-1 in pool play, and they lost the first game to Louisville, so they're done.
Yeah, Gamecock. We got our ass whipped yesterday by Alabama in the first round of the SEC tournament, and everybody, even my son, was telling me, well, it doesn't really matter. I mean, I don't think they were really trying, and I'm like, they weren't pitching anybody good. Well, I mean, there's all kind of fucking teams in there that are also going to make the damn regional. So you tell me that none of them are going to fucking play hard and they're going to let goddamn Mizzou win the fucking thing or something? I mean, come on. That's not a damn excuse.
I'm not defending Mark Kingston, but he did come out and say we had a plan. We didn't move our guys up. We had injuries, blah, blah, blah. That was the vibe that he had out there.
So he's basically he's a Will Muschamp with a hat with a bill on it.
Yeah, and he coaches on the baseball field. Yeah.
Oh, fuck that.
Well, but yeah, I mean that's what happened. I don't think they really cared. Sergeant AR-10's talking about Nick Chubb, Sony Michel, DeAndre Smith. Oh, that's all great. We're talking about running backs on the team right now, sir. We're not talking about all these other guys that are out there. I'm talking about guys on the team right now. Right now.
Give me one red chicken on NFL roster at running back. Well, we have the NFL's best defensive back. So there's that. I guess that's not a running back, though. You got me.
If he didn't get injured, Marcus Lattimore would have been a great running back in the NFL. But
exactly.
Anyway, the team that's on the rise, according to 247 Sports, is the North Carolina Tar Heels. Last year they went 8-4. Are they going to go better than 8-4 this year, Jackpot? They think they're going to rise from 8-4. Are they going to? They're going to do better than 8-4? I don't know.
I mean, last year, that out of that 8. Hold on just a minute here. Sorry.
That's all right. Anyway, 8-4 is what they had him last year. And they're talking about they could be this writer says, I feel very comfortable projecting a 10-win season for the Tar Heels. Their window is open with Sam Howell on campus for what is likely to be his final college season. North Carolina is primed to take the advantage. I don't know if I'm buying all that or not, but they've got North Carolina.
Last year, their 4 losses were to who? Okay, they lost to Texas A&M, right?
Yeah.
The bowl game.
Yeah. I got to look at that.
They lost to Florida State. They lost to them, right?
That game didn't make any sense, but yeah, they did lose to Florida State.
They lost to was it Boston College?
I have to look at
was it. No, beat them.
Yeah, I don't know. I got it right here, Jackpot.
Lose to Miami. They lost.
Yeah, hold on. I'm looking at it right now. UNC football 2020. Here we go. 2020, they lost to So last season they lost to they beat Boston College. They lost to Florida State by 3. That game made no sense. They lost to Louisville, to Virginia by 3, Notre Dame by 14, and then they lost in the Orange Bowl to Texas A&M.
They lost to Louisville?
No, I'm sorry. It was Virginia, sir. They lost to Virginia.
By how much?
Because I'm stupid. They lost to Virginia by a field goal at Virginia.
Yeah. So they lost some shitty games. I mean, I don't think that they would lose to fucking Florida State again or Virginia. So I don't know. I mean, they have an easier schedule. They don't play Clemson. They play in the taffy side of the ACC. They play Miami at home. I mean, I could buy it, I guess. And they're all excited. They got Ty Chandler running back. Everybody just on Tennessee, but they got a Tennessee running back. Now all of a sudden, there's they're going to be hot shit. Is he better than who they had there last year? Who was their running back last? They had couple of good running backs.
They had like 2 guys that got drafted in the first couple days of the draft, but
they had some good running backs. Do you think Ty Chandler is? I mean, I always thought that guy was just average.
Yeah. I'm looking at their schedule. They opened the season at Virginia Tech, followed by home games with Georgia State and Virginia, on the road at Georgia Tech, home game with Duke, home game with Florida State, home game with Miami, on the road at Notre Dame, home game with Wake, at Pitt. The mighty Wofford Terriers come to town in November, and then they go to NC State.
It sounds like to me that Wofford is the toughest thing on that slate.
Jesus, here we go. Let's move back into the faller. The tumbler, they say, is going to be the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. 10-2 was what they were last season. They lost to Clemson in the ACC championship game, and then they lost to Alabama. Everybody
confirmed
pretty well, but I think 10 wins, maybe a little far out there for Notre Dame.
Yeah, I mean, okay, who's going to play quarterback?
It's not going to be the book. The book is closed.
Yeah, the book is closed, but I mean, the book was solid. The book was solid while he was there. So, I mean,
yeah. Well, let me look at the Notre Dame schedule here. I've got it right in front of me. Notre Dame schedule: they play at Florida State. Then they've got Toledo, Purdue, Wisconsin. That's in Chicago.
So they play 2 Big Ten teams back to back.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then they've got one of those. They're going to drop one.
Right after that, they play Cincinnati, who is probably one of your best G5 teams. Then they play at Virginia Tech, followed by a bye week. And then they got Southern Cal, North Carolina, Navy, at Virginia, Georgia Tech, and at Stanford. I think 10
That's
wins.
That is not a very favorable schedule. I wouldn't want to play it.
I wouldn't want to play that either. But just the way it stacks up, that 3-game stretch there, Purdue at home, Wisconsin in Chicago, and then Cincinnati at home, followed by a road game at Virginia Tech. That's a pretty tough schedule there. A tough set of games. So I'm buying the under there with Notre Dame at 10 wins. Yeah. Here's another team jackpot they say is on the rise is TCU. TCU finished last season 6-4. They think they're going to be a little bit better than that. Are you buying TCU?
Well, they've got a good coach, and they got purple and black uniforms. So yeah, why the hell not? Now, I think they always have a decent defense there at TCU.
Yeah. They finished 5-1 down the stretch, including a win over Oklahoma State. Zach Evans and Keandre Miller averaging better than 7 yards a carry, and the defense found their footing. They're projecting 8+ wins for this team. Feels comfortable, even with a difficult non-conference schedule that includes games with Cal and SMU. I think they'll win more than 6 games. The tumbler is Oklahoma State. The mullet. They went 8-3 last season.
He's 40 and he's a man.
He's 50 and he's a man now. So many of those top pieces are departed. They returned 87 most production nationally. I don't think they're going to win 8 games this year. I think it's going to be tough. Non-conference slate includes Tulsa and Boise State. They have trips to Texas, Iowa State, and West Virginia. And, of course, they got to play Oklahoma. So 8 wins, I think, is going to be tough for Mullet.
Yeah, they're on the way down. So Chuba Purdy's gone, right?
Yeah.
And
Sargent has one.
He didn't do much last year anyway.
Dogs in the SEC. Okay. On the rise, the Wisconsin Badgers. Last season, they were 4-3. They returned 83% of their 2020 production, including Graham Mertz, their quarterback. Their schedule, I think they're going to win, obviously, more than 4 games. I think they'll win 8 to 10 games this year. They get Penn State and Michigan from the Big Ten East. Both of those games are in Madison. Northwestern and Iowa also come into town. I mean, if they don't win 7 games, I think Wisconsin will be fine.
Yeah, if you watched them last year, they the first game of the season against Illinois, they with Graham Mertz at quarterback, who was thrust into that starting role when starting quarterback Jack Cohn went down with injury. Jack Cohn, no kin to David Cohn, former pitcher for the New York Mets and Toronto Blue Jays. I mean, he looked fucking lights out. I mean, he lit up that damn Illinois defense, which was at the time coached by the Black Santa Claus. He's since been fired and replaced with the Fat Man. But they looked unstoppable. And then they had some coronavirus issues, and they didn't play a few games, and this and that, so they kind of fell apart a little bit. But Wisconsin's dangerous, brother, dangerous.
A team that's on the tumble is the Northwestern Wildcats, according to this article. Last season they went 7-2. They've got They got the big quarterback battle with the kid from Clemson against Ryan Helinski. I don't know.
Ryan Helinski versus Hunter Johnson.
Yeah.
I can't believe Hunter Johnson still. I can't believe he still has eligibility left. I mean, it seems like a long fucking time ago that he was at Clemson. I mean, it really does.
Yeah, I remember Dabo Sweeney talking about how he could be like an all-pro and all that. I'm like, oh God, shut up, Dabo. Stop saying dumb shit.
To be fair, he came in at the same time with Trevor Lawrence. Right a year before him. You really don't know what he could have done. He could be great. But yeah, I just think he was he came in to a bad, well, not a bad situation. He came into a really good situation, but the thing is, he couldn't compete with the guy who was making it a good fucking situation. So
I think the one last parting gift from Mike Bobo is Ryan Helinski going to Northwestern and not playing for South Carolina this season. It's nothing against Luke Doty. I just think that Helinski has some talent, and I think he's going to do well up there at Northwestern. So that's like Bobo leaving the trash in the yard. So anyway, so there's that.
He's okay, man. I resign myself to the fact that these guys that were coaching these kids up. They're getting paid a lot of fucking money to do a job. Obviously they saw something somewhere that he just didn't have it, and that he didn't need to be leading the team. That's sad. I know that might piss off all the soccer moms out there and all the girls on Twitter that I said that maybe Ryan's not the best damn player out there. Maybe he wasn't worse than Colin Hill, but maybe he wasn't that much fucking better either.
Maybe
I don't know. Maybe we recruited a couple of turds.
Could be.
And we need to go back to work.
Riser, Arizona State. They were 2-2 last season. Oh God, why? I think they're going to be better than 2-2. They have an impact.
Got Herm Edwards, man.
Yeah,
that guy really surprised me. If as many games as he's won down there and the kind of success he's had. So I ain't fucking with Herm. He is he's on his game, and I think that's definitely a possibility. Definitely a possibility. That Pac-12 South is whack, man. It's whack. Anybody can just pop up there and beat anybody.
Here's another rising team. They like LSU. LSU finished 5-5 last season. I was thinking about this. When you go back and look at their offense, they still finished.
Because everybody still got the taste of that 2019 LSU goober in their mouth that they were sucking on for so long, and they don't have the damn heart and soul to spit it out.
Could be that.
Really? Let's
Go ahead.
Okay.
No, go ahead. I was letting you go.
Bear me out. So why they're going to be so much improved this year?
Because they weren't that bad last year. They finished 39th nationally in points per game. They've got some good starting quarterbacks. I think Miles Brennan is out.
They lost to this Pirate. They gave the Pirate like 500 yards. The Pirate won like 3 games. I just don't. I was very embarrassed by South Carolina's performance against them defensively. Just piss fucking poor. They gave us every damn opportunity to win the game. As far as offensively goes, because they didn't fucking play any damn defense. But
look, I'm not trying to get your blood pressure up tonight.
It's always up anyway. So you're really grasping at straws there. You didn't do anything wrong.
Well, Kashawn Butte is their outside playmaker. The problem with them was their defense was absolutely terrible. So they do have 2 guys that are probably going to be first-round picks in Stingley and Eli Ricks. I think that they're going to be a lot better than they were last year at 5-5. I mean, I think they win 7, 8, 9 games this season. So Jordan with a good comment. Remember when KJ Costello for Mississippi State was on the Heisman list after that LSU game? Yeah, I did. But, the other part was that Mississippi State had like that running back too, Kylan Hill or whatever his name was, that he quit in the middle of the season. I mean, Mississippi State will probably be a shithole this year because it seems like the Pirate just runs people off. So I think LSU defense is going to be better this year. And I think that they'll definitely, 8, 9, 10 wins. It's going to come down to, do they beat Texas A&M and get back to that spot where they're Alabama's bitch again, where they're the bridesmaid again? I don't know if they can beat Alabama or not, but they could be a team that wins 10 games. And,
Mississippi State had that running back, Kylan Hill.
Yeah.
Who I made a video about him last year, which I got a lot of hate for, with a bunch of tight down in the comment section, because he quit. He threatened to quit if Mississippi didn't get rid of the redneck flag that they had. Okay, well, they got rid of the fucking redneck flag, and then they were like having like a, I don't know, artistry contest, or like they were trying to figure out what a new flag looked like, and he fucking quits anyway. What a fucking douchebag.
I just don't think he wants to play.
No, he didn't. He want the shit.
Brandon Kuhn with the comment. Remember when Texas A&M quarterback Kenny Hill was the Heisman favorite after the opener?
Kenny Hill would have won 4 Heismans in a row if he played South Carolina every game.
I mean, that team's defense was a shithole. Another faller is the Florida Gators. Last season they went 8-4. I don't think they're going to completely nosedive, but there's people are starting to talk about maybe Emory Jones is going to be a guy that can make plays, and I don't know, man.
Well, he hasn't made plays in 3 years. I'm
just telling you what the vibe that you get from some of these Florida fans, man. Kyle Pitts is no longer there. Kadarius Toney's no longer there.
Don't hear from a lot of them. Remember, we used to hear all the time. We heard from Destroy. You ever heard from Destroy? I think Destroy's on a milk carton right now.
I think he had the COVID. That's why he's out. He forgot the number. By the way, the number for you to call is 803-470-2905.
National Center for Missing and Exploited Gators.
Yeah. 803-470-2905. They went 8-4 last season. I don't think they go 8-4 this year. I think they're probably a 7-win ball club, in my opinion.
I disagree. I think they'll probably win more than that. I don't know. The opposition is just still not that great.
Right. I've got their schedule. Hold on. Let's bring it up here, and we will talk about the Florida game.
Even with the Boom Chickens and the not the Boom Chickens anymore. With the Missouris and the Kentuckys and that.
They've got Alabama at home at the beginning of the year. And here's their schedule. Florida Atlantic, That's in Gainesville. Then they play at South Florida. That's 2 wins. Home for Alabama. That's probably a loss. Home for Tennessee.
Probably.
On the road at Kentucky. Home for Vanderbilt for homecoming. They go to LSU. Then they have Georgia in Jacksonville. They play at South Carolina. Home game with Stanford. They go to Mizzou, and then they wrap up with Florida State. I think just me picking right off the bat, I'll give them Florida Atlantic. I'll give them South Florida. I'll give them Tennessee.
Give them one over Jeff Scott.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Jeff Scott's going to get fired this year. I'll give them Tennessee. I'll give them Vanderbilt. I'll give them the Gamecocks, Stanford, and Florida State.
No, it's not happening.
What, you think they're going to beat? Do you think Stanford's going to beat them?
No, Rob, I don't think you're going to beat the Gamecocks.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyway.
What? Okay. You think that? What? Okay. What do you think they're going to do defensively to stop that running back attack? I mean,
I think I don't think that South Carolina's running game is going to be enough. I think by the time that they get to that game in November, if Kevin Harris hasn't run himself out of his shoes yet as the only viable playmaking piece for South Carolina, they're going to have 9-10 guys in the box and daring them to run. Kevin Harris is great, but he's not going to be able to, deal with 9 guys in the box. So I think by that point in the season, the shine will be off, and that's what South Carolina's going to have.
Put 9 guys in the box, but then they're going to have to deal with Jack Joyner
oh, jackpot. Joyner's been there for 3 seasons and hasn't done shit yet. Come on now.
Because he hasn't had a chance yet.
Okay.
He hasn't been utilized properly yet. He hasn't. You know it. I know it. The whole world knows it.
Okay.
Okay. Let's just try to act like I didn't. Okay. You know it's true.
I don't think Joyner's going to be an all SEC type player. No, sir. I don't.
I didn't say he's going to be an all SEC type player. Don't take an all SEC type player to score against Florida.
Okay.
That's Colin Hill. You done it.
Another team that you and I were talking about before we went on the air this evening, the Kentucky Wildcats. Everybody loves Kentucky.
Everybody loves Kentucky. Yeah.
You're not buying Kentucky, are you?
No, I'm not, because like I told you today, I think that the national media right now is predisposed to picking Kentucky to do some really good things because they've exceeded expectations in some of the last 3 or 4 years. They're like, I don't want to be caught napping. I want to get out in front of everybody else. So I'm going to go ahead and say Kentucky's going to win 10 games. When in reality, they probably haven't even looked at the current roster or the fact that they lost a quarterback who was a shit show, Terry Wilson. But I mean, really, what do they have to replace him? I mean,
here's the deal with the quarterback. Terry Wilson went from Kentucky to New Mexico. That's where Terry Wilson will be playing football this year. I'll take your comments on the phone at 803-470-2905. Joey Gatewood, the kid from Auburn. That's the guy that's there. Also, Bo Allen. Will Levis is also a transfer kid from Penn State. So it's going to be one of those 3 guys from that'll have an opportunity to take snaps for the Wildcats.
I texted back and forth. I think it was last Thursday when I was off, kind of like texting back and forth with William Qualkenbush and over on Clemson radio, and he said something about that vaunted Georgia Tech passing game or something. He said something about he made some kind of shot at South Carolina's wide receivers and something about Marion Brown from Georgia Tech, and I said, oh yeah, he said something about that he thought Georgia Tech would be better because they got rid of, some of the they used the transfer portal, and the transfer portal kind of got rid of some of those receivers that they didn't need or didn't want to have. And I put in quotes, didn't want to have their leading receiver and he was like, he caught 2 passes last year for 102, or 2 passes last year for 14 yards. And I said, okay, peep the 2019 stat shit brick. I said he caught like 8 touchdowns for like 400 yards. He was their damn leading receiver. He was hurt all last year, and he had the fucking coronavirus. So fucking go sue him, fucking idiot. I got damn. I can't. I hate that guy. It's fucking him and that damn girl that he does the damn show with. They're both a fucking bunch of fucking idiots.
Yes. Anyway,
Yes.
I'm not going to argue with you because I don't like Homer Radio. It's fucking.
It is Homer Radio. It's stupid, and I don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Everything.
They dump some of those players in it. Georgia Tech needs every fucking skill position, everything they can fucking get. You fucking tard. I mean, they won 3 games last year. Come on now.
I've said this before, like the Homer Radio people, where they can't have any opinion besides let's just massage the nuts of whatever school we're carrying the sports with. It's like that everywhere. It's fucking disgusting. You can't have your own opinion. You need to make sure that
Mr. Roll MF and Tide. I said, I guess that Beamer Ball is going to resurrect the dead, kind of like Lou Holtz. Well, I mean, Lou Holtz did go from winning 0 games one year to winning 9 games back-to-back seasons, 1 back-to-back Outback Bowls. I mean, he's pretty successful there for a couple of years. He had a pretty damn good run. I mean, I ain't hating him.
Yeah. Tim G says it's pretty sad that all a Gamecock fan can do is talk trash about superior programs. So we're talking about all kinds of folks.
Well, I mean, it must be embarrassing to lose to them, Tim. You're a Georgia fan. It must be embarrassing to lose to a team like that. I mean, I wouldn't know. I mean, all the teams that we're more superior than. I mean, we beat them at least. You know, I mean, we haven't lost to Vanderbilt like y'all did a couple of years ago. So there's that.
On the Kentucky front, though, their best offensive player is Chris Rodriguez. Averaged 7.1 yards a carry, 533 yards and 6 scores in 2019. 11 touchdowns last year, and he didn't.
I remember Carolina shutting him down. He ran for like 5 yards against us in 2019.
He's a pretty good running back. Jackpot. Why are you pissing? Look, I don't think Kentucky's going to be like a 5-win team, but I think they can win 7 games.
No, they probably could, because their non-conference schedule is dog piss too. They like to play all the MAC teams. They'll take 2 or 3 MAC teams in their non-conference and fucking Louisville.
Yeah.
I don't know why they do that. They do like to play Toledo, Eastern Michigan, Ball State. I mean, shit like that. They're not in the Midwest. I mean, I think of Kentucky being in the South, and they should play some. They should grab their damn nuts and play some real. They're the one SEC team they don't play. They won't play any team other than their rival, which is Louisville. They won't play anybody else in the non-con. I mean, they should play like fucking West Virginia or something. Louisville and West Virginia, or Kentucky and West Virginia should play every year. That's the battle of who has the most teeth.
Why don't they play?
Kentucky should play Virginia or Virginia Tech every year or so.
Why don't they play Cincinnati? That would be an interesting.
Here's one. Why don't you play Ohio State? They're not that far apart.
By the way, Chris Rodriguez, his last outing against South Carolina, 14 carries, 139 yards, and not 1, not 2, but 3 touchdowns.
Oh, we weren't trying that game. I mean, I don't even count that game as like really a game.
Wait, let me make sure that I understand this. You don't count that game, but you were hanging Kingston out to dry earlier because he didn't try yesterday.
Well, okay. Chris, he rushed for 5 yards first time he played South Carolina, and then he rushed for 130. So average that together, he's 70 yards rushing.
1.5 touchdowns. 1.5 touchdowns.
What an athlete! What an athlete. Let's put him up there with O.J. Simpson, Herschel Walker, and all the great running backs of all time.
Bo Jackson, sir. Bo Jackson. Don't forget Bo Jackson.
Earl Campbell. Bo
All right, 803-470-2905. Steve says Kentucky's going to clap SC soft cheeks. Just wait. Bump, bump, bump,
okay.
Bump, bump. Got nothing on that. I don't think Kentucky's going to be that bad.
He said it, then he retracted it because it's not even showing up here.
Well, it's showing right there on the damn screen, so there you go. I'm watching it right now.
Soft cheeks. Okay. We'll see. We're not scared. I'm going to tell you that.
Adam says your blood pressure is starting to rise. Does Kentucky piss you off more, or is it Mizzou that gets under your skin more?
Kentucky.
Yes,
because goddamn, South Carolina should be better than them. The product they put on the field the last few years has not been. They should be better than Kentucky. To be honest with you, Missouri is like. We've had we've beaten them. We're like, I don't know, we're kind of even with them the last couple of years, and then the first few years in the SEC, we owned them. I remember in 2013 when we played them, and they were, we're ranked number 4 in the country. They had a sold out damn crowd at that damn shithole they play in, where all the fans are like 50 yards from the damn field, and we beat their ass. And Connor Shaw comes out there with the fucking flu and everything else, and still, we embarrassed them. So I don't really look at them as like, it sucks to lose to them, but with Kentucky,
that 5-game losing streak to Kentucky really chapped your ass, didn't it?
That was ridiculous. That was the worst. That was the worst.
Yeah. Brandon says
especially after. Think South Carolina. I don't know. South Carolina had beaten them like 10 or 11 games in a row.
That's what Brandon just says. They beat them 10 games in a row from 2000 to 2009. So yeah.
Yeah, they lost to them in 2010. Of course, we beat Alabama in 2010 with the Steven Garcia game and Marcus Lattimore and all that. And I remember the next week we go on the road and lose to the Joker Phillips led Kentucky Wildcats. Goddamn. How do you do that? What are you doing?
This is South Carolina football, my friend.
Yeah.
By the way, goddamn. Anyway, final call.
The next year, we play them in Columbia. We beat them like 57-3. No shit. What the fuck? I'm like, goddamn. You couldn't have saved some of those fucking points unless just won this one 24-10 and won the last one 24-10. Let's split it up. What the fuck are y'all doing? It's crazy. Yeah. Stop it, Ziggy.
Ziggy's giving jackpot issues. 803-470-2905, 803-470-2905. That is the number to dial if you want to be a part of the show. Feel free to check us out there. Also, we are going to we'll have a show on Sunday evening, and we'll know who the regional host sites are. What was it? Was it Baseball America said that they still think that South Carolina is going to host, even though they lost in the first round of the tournament. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that Jackpot's gonna get mad when I say this, but it's a COVID year. They've already announced the 20 potential sites. They're not going to let anybody else in the mix. And of those potential sites, South Carolina, with what they're able to do there, as far as the facility goes, they may just get it because of that and be a 2 seed. I think they've got them projected to do to have Old Dominion as the 1 seed. But South Carolina could. I'm just telling you what.
How embarrassing is that?
Well, you still get to be at home. That's not bad, right?
Yeah, but the Monarchs are going to be the number 1 seed. They play baseball there.
They're good enough to be a number 1 seed. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, there's that. we'll know by the time we get on the air on Sunday night about South Carolina. It's also my birthday Sunday, Jackpot. I'm going to eat birthday cake while you do the show.
Well, my God.
Yep.
Happy early birthday.
Yeah, I won't be. I don't normally eat birthday cake, but I might get me some birthday cake for my chunky ass. So we'll see. All right, Jackpot. It's been a great show, man. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I'm in Facebook jail right now. That's why we didn't stream to the Facebook crowd tonight. Sorry about that. I said we should set something on fire on Facebook. Apparently, you can't wish things to burn into flames because Facebook will get upset with you. I don't know. So, Jackpot's been a good show, man. Appreciate you guys. We'll see you later.
All right, gang.